But let's get into Jadon Sancho out of Manchester United. Still, look, I've got an interesting thing I want to talk about in a few minutes, actually, about this. I call it over-the-top fake positivity from certain people on Twitter, TikTok, here, in the meet, whatever. I think there are some people who just, paint a rainbow of Man United and everything's positive. And I just think it's fake because there are some very big risks on the horizon. And if those things go wrong, those fake positive people will suddenly go, you've got to be realistic on a journey back. There is a mountain to climb and we will slip. You've got to be realistic. And not everything is rosy and not everything is rainbow and not everything is great. We'll talk about that in a moment because I do believe that the Sancho deal for me still retains risk. Of course it retains risk. He's going to a Premier League rival, motivated at 24 years of age. And what we're basically hoping for is that he absolutely falls on his arse and fails again. And I don't know whether that's necessarily going to happen. If he does okay, it's more than he's done at United. I mean, he's not played for United for a year. Not played for the first team for a year. So, look, there is a risk around Sancho. But, let me talk about this shock clause in his deal. I wasn't aware of this last night when we ended the show. I am now. So the Jadon Sancho loan deal to Chelsea is a loan with an obligation to buy. But as we said last night, that obligation could be, as long as he plays 20 games, we'll buy him for 25 million. It gets better than that. As long as Chelsea finish in the top 14 in the Premier League, they've got to buy him. So Chelsea can only not buy Sancho if they finish below 14th. So I think we're all just hoping Chelsea finish 13th because that would be absolutely hilarious. But it's better than we might have thought. An obligation to buy is an obligation to buy, but there will always be breakouts and everything like that. But Chelsea, well, it's definitely done, says Derek. Yeah, there's no way Chelsea aren't going to finish in the top 14. Therefore, the deal gets done. It's £20 million. It can go up to 25 with add-ons. But ultimately, I'm not really that motivated by 30, 35, 40 because we were never going to achieve that by making a club have a loan with an obligation to buy because they're basically... There is risk from Chelsea, of course there is. We talk about the risk for us if he does well. The risk for Chelsea if he does badly is they've got to spend £25 million on him next summer or 20 million quid. So there is a risk for Chelsea there, of course. But I think for Manchester United, where we are this morning is we've washed our hands of Jadon Sancho. Who's the winner in all of this? I don't know. Who is the winner in all of this? I think... I don't know who the winner is in all of this. I think that I look at what the club did for Scott McTominay, and I think you have two very different things here. I'm ecstatic that Scott McTominay's gone because I don't think he's good enough for where we want to go. But definitely had the right character, definitely had the right commitment, and definitely cared about the football club. And to that, he should always be applauded, and we all wish him the best. But 100% happy that he's going. Jadon Sancho is completely different. Jadon Sancho is more talented than Scott McTominay, but Jadon Sancho has got no respect, arguably for himself, but certainly not for this football club. So I think that how I feel about the Sancho exit and who the winner is, I think it's just nice to draw a line underneath it. It's not like Greenwood, but with Greenwood, I think it was just, let's move on. And I think with Sancho, it's the same. Very, very different circumstances, of course, but it's move on. And I think with this obligation to buy and Chelsea got to finish below 14th not to buy him, I think when we see Sancho now, we're just like, well, he's not a Man United player. Technically, he will be until the summer, but he's not a Man United player anymore, and he's never going to be a Man United player anymore. And as we speculated last night on Sancho, and looking at a few messages this morning, it's very, very clear that United's stance on Sancho, and I don't think we'll get any statements from United. I don't think we'll get any comment from Ten Hag about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we will. And we're certainly not going to get a 4-minute compilation of Jadon Sancho's time at Man United. You'd be better off showing his EAFC highlights. But I think Manchester United will just move on and stay quiet. But what's coming out of United from what I heard this morning is that they are fully aware of fan concern. They are fully aware of the risk of loaning a player to or giving a player to a rival. But ultimately, the risk is not sufficient to outweigh the desire to remove this player from the football club. Therefore, they see it as a calculated risk. They know that he could go to Chelsea and play well. But the challenge for Manchester United is even if Sancho does go to Chelsea and play well, we'll be better than Chelsea, which I like. I like that mentality. And that's basically what the club stance is that there is a risk that Sancho goes to Chelsea and does well. But our plan is to be better than Chelsea even if he does. So we will swallow up that risk the same way that Pep swallowed up what Palmer's done at Chelsea. He was brilliant, but Man City still won the league. And I like that mentality. And also the second part is that obviously United wouldn't ideally be loaning or giving a player to a rival in this league, but that was the option on the table, or keep him, and they would rather give him to Chelsea than keep him, which shows you the extent of the problem with Jadon Sancho. The football club do not want him here anymore. His wage is gone, 300 grand a week, 250. I noticed how Sancho's wage has gone up to 300 grand a week now, by the way, but I think it always was. 300k a week gone off the wage bill. That's what, £2.5 million a month. So it's not £2.5 million a month. It's 1.2 million pounds a month, and you know we've cleared quite a bit of wages this season. When a lot of people are adding to their wage bill, we've reduced our wage bill with Varane and Martial and Sancho, very big earners, all gone. And we've removed the problem that, look, we know about United. We know about United and the leaks. And there's a lot of people mentioning Rashford. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. Marcus Rashford's got a big job on this season. We know, look, honestly, hands on table, we know Rashford is tight with Sancho. We know Rashford's not been very good for a year. He's got his own thing to deal with this season. I don't think we need to be throwing stones at him about his friendship with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho was actually quite popular with a lot of players at Man United, especially a lot of the younger players. So we're going to say that they're no good either. You know, Sancho wasn't some sort of demon. You know, he was quite liked within the dressing room with certain players and certainly in the youth. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.